This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing at 474 Oak Place out here in Chula Vista. Started my digital inspection on top of this architectural shingle roof. The material itself looks to be fairly new. This looks like it's the second layer of shingle that was laid on this roof. And the material, like I said, it's not depleting like a bad roof normally would. Now there is some granule loss that is starting to happen on this roof, and I'll point a few things out. We can kind of see how shiny it is along the edges of these shingles, and essentially what's happening when you see that is the oils are starting to evaporate on the shingle itself, and those granules start to deplete. They deplete and they roll off whenever it rains, and those granules will end up in areas like the gutters. That's what we're starting to see at this point. The one issue that I'm seeing on this roof though was the solar install, and the way that they installed this conduit along the entire roof. And so essentially what they did is they went ahead and shoved these brackets underneath these shingles, and the majority of these shingles they had to rip off from the roof itself, and a lot of these shingles ended up being damaged, right? So especially if I come over here to this section where this portion of the roof is a little more worn out just due to the direction and the exposure to the sun. You can see how black a lot of this is. A lot of the granules are already starting to deplete. But you can see that the majority of these shingles were ripped in the process of them getting these brackets underneath, okay? And that goes on throughout the install. We have some damaged shingles. They went ahead and installed some metal shingles underneath it to help with that. But again, even over here, not completely missed the mark on that end. And then if you look at this port, you can see how it's completely ripped. And now that screw hole is completely exposed. So every time it rains, water's getting underneath here, and it will end up getting underneath this portion as well. That's a guarantee. So, you know, if there is not a leak that's already happening on that portion, then it's probably gonna happen in the near future. We can see that a lot of the sealant around these penetrations is starting to wear through. Water and moisture is going to be coming down these pipes every single time it rains. And then again, you can just see the amount of granule loss that you have on this section of the roof. Now, that could be from the age of the roof. It could also have been from the solar install. You got a lot of guys that are walking around this portion of the roof while this job is getting done. And a lot of those granules will start to fall off. But again, you can see all the damaged shingles, some more metal shingles that were installed to kind of fix some broken shingles as well. We have some satellite dishes that were installed onto the shingle product itself. That's always a big no-no for us. We never want to see any bolts directly installed into the shingle, and these definitely do not look like they were properly sealed off. So if this is no longer in use, I would suggest going ahead and getting rid of it, and we can have our guys come out and reseal off those penetrations just to ensure that we're not getting any leaks in the future. So my suggestion for this roof is, number one, it's got another 5 to 10 years left on it, probably a little bit more depending on the amount of weather that we get in those years. And especially if we're not having any leaks at this point, I don't see this roof necessarily needing to be replaced immediately. Obviously, if the new homeowner wants to be proactive, we can definitely do so, just because there are a lot of problem areas, especially from the solar install, where leaks can start to occur, but it is not 100% necessary. What I would suggest doing is having a roof tune-up done, where our guys will come out, we'll reseal off all the penetrations, we'll check out all the damaged shingles that came up from the solar install, and we'll go ahead and make those fixes. And that way we can go ahead and prolong the life expectancy of this roof a little bit longer for the potential homeowner that's going to be moving in. That's it for my inspection.